Hey everyone, and welcome back to the 245 podcast, where that is the number of hours the average teenager spends on their phone per day. Believe it or not.
I believe it.
Don't think about it too hard because that breaks down, but just trust us.
I'm really good at not thinking about stuff, so
me too.
I won't think about it.
You can handle that. The intro of teenagers addicted to their phones actually connects to what we're talking about today, which if you read the title, you know that we're talking about social media.
Withdrawal and social media.
Yeah, withdrawal / just opinions on social media in general.
And facts.
We might have to do some take, like we talked about the one time about takes, like where does takes line up? Is this a nuclear take or is it a cold take, We'll have to figure out some takes on social media.
We were thinking about recording this podcast actually before we talked with Mr. Teen, but then after we talked with Mr. Teen, which if you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to that episode. It's a good episode. But we talked with him some about technology, and we were like, we could talk about that some more because we have experience, obviously, with it and just some opinions that we wanted to talk about and process through. So, Joey, how about you hit it off with your first take or story or whatever?
My first story? I'm so confused. What do you want from me, Josh?
I want you to start.
Oh, okay. I'll start.
What about our weekly updates?
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought we were doing weekly updates.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, okay. My weekly update. I went hunting. I saw 2 deer. That was it.
Did you shoot 2 deer?
No, I did not shoot 2 deer. They were on the neighbor's property and they were like 500 yards away, which if you're not a hunter, that is a long ways away. So did not shoot at those. But I got to sit with Mandy in the blind, so that made it better because we could just talk most of the time because we're in this area where we're high up on a hill and we can see a long ways. So if we can see a deer, we'll see a deer before the deer will hear us, if that makes sense. So we can talk because as soon as we see a deer, we'll stop talking and the deer won't be able to hear us because it's so far away. So yeah, that was my weekend. Popcorn, Mike.
Wait, so if you were in the blind, could you not see her?
No, I couldn't see her.
Oh,
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
My week's been pretty good. I had a little story to tell last week. It really disappointed me. It really just brought me down. Hoping you guys could maybe talk through it with me.
We'll help you process.
So we live in Aikenson dorms in Northwestern, and there's this snack machine vending thing. It's cool, self-service. So I go grab a chocolate milk, my favorite delicious beverage, as I established on episode 1 of the podcast. My favorite chocolate milk from the vending machine. And I grab it. I go back. I'm on RA duty, so I go back to the RA duty desk, and I open it, take my first sip, and I feel a chunk flow into my mouth.
So
Josh,
awful.
have I told you this yet, Josh?
No, you haven't.
I know I
This is
told
new.
my roommates, but I take the chunk out of my mouth as you would do when you're supposed to have a drink and a chunk comes out.
Mike, just pause 1 sec. Is this a slimy chunk or
Oh, it's a slimy chunk.
Oh, guys,
why
are we still talking
Oh, it's a slimy chunk. And
it wasn't powdery. It was
No.
It was congealed milk somehow.
Nope. I looked at it. It was brown, like chocolate milk is. And it looked at first I thought maybe it was how some drinks have the paper on top that you peel open?
Yeah.
It almost looked like it was one of those, but covered in chocolate milk. But it wasn't because those drinks, that chocolate milk does not have that. And I look closer, and on one end is a little a circle of green.
Oy.
So there is definitely some mold in my chocolate milk. I threw it away after that, which is very sad.
So does that turn you off to your favorite chocolate milk?
Oh no, I bought that same bottle of chocolate milk the next day.
You just
and
looked at the expiration date first?
No, the expiration date on the one I bought literally was November 11, and this was
That's what I was gonna ask. Was it even past expiration,
No.
or it was just really bad?
It still isn't expired today. We're recording this on November 6th, and I got it November 1st, and it said November 11th. So yeah, I'm a little upset, but I wasted $1.69 or something, and you know, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Still a delicious beverage. Josh, how's
Chocolate
your week
milk
been?
has not been degraded by that single incident.
No.
I'm glad to hear it.
Nope.
Let's see. What have I done this weekend? I think the most exciting thing was I'm in the first ever Defender band at Dordt University. It's basically a pep band. We haven't ever had an official pep band before. I think there's been other like little pep bands in past years, but I play snare drum, and this weekend was our last home football game. So, yeah, we played and carried the football team to a 49-7 victory, I believe.
Holy
my
cow.
word.
Were you playing the middle school? What was going on?
Not middle school, just Hastings College, which I guess they're bad. But funny enough, Hastings beat a team that we lost to by like 30 plus points. So
Shoot.
we are very variable with how we play. Like we've lost to some bad teams, but then we like destroy other teams. But yeah, it was cold, and because I have Raynaud's, my fingers were all white by the end. So then I took a nice warm shower afterwards to warm up.
Those showers hit different.
Oh, yeah.
Warm
They
showers
do.
after being out in the cold rain, like
Yeah, I'm sure you experienced that this weekend, Joey.
When? It didn't rain.
Well, it was cold. I'm saying the hot showers.
Oh, it was cold, but I was saying when you rained. Like I remember when I played a soccer game in like middle school, and here's a funny story. I'll try to make it quick. It was after the championship game that we won. So then we played like a parents game, and my dad played with us, and he was wearing these huge warm boots. And then we were playing soccer against him, and I tried to get past him, and he on purpose tripped me, and I fell into a puddle and was soaking wet.
That sounds like a comic, like in real life.
It basically was. But then I remember that was like I would always do like quick showers, like because I was like in middle school. So you like see how fast you can take a shower in like 45 seconds, which is like you're not getting anything clean in 45 seconds.
That was your record? 45 seconds?
I don't know if that was my record.
Because I timed it once and like tried to do it really quick on purpose, and I think I did it in a minute and a half.
Oh my word. Yeah. I don't know. But I just remember just sitting there for like 5 minutes, just letting my like internal body heat like warm up, you know? I know it actually doesn't get cooler, but it feels like it gets cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think yesterday I was in there for like over 20, so
Oh
Dang.
my goodness, Josh.
y'all are
Wait, Josh.
casuals.
Is it you who said that your dad would like charge you a dime for every minute you went over in the shower, like at a certain point?
He
Was that you?
threatened that. He never
He
did.
threatened it. Okay.
Yeah, because we'd always run out of hot water, and I took like pretty long showers. Not like abnormally long. Like I've heard some people like, oh, every shower is like 15 minutes, but they're like probably 7 to 10 usually.
It's the great thing about being in college is you can take as long a shower as you want, and you're not paying for, well,
I,
Yeah, just stop
yeah.
there.
the thing is, water's actually like really cheap.
yeah.
So like taking a 15-minute shower is like, I think is like less than $1 or something. It's super cheap.
I don't think it was like the water expense. It was more just running out of hot water, and then people would take showers after.
Oh,
me and
okay.
be
That
annoyed.
makes sense.
Here's the strategy is right now we got to be careful because if we take too long of showers, our tuition will go up for water. But what we do is our senior year, we used to take like crazy long showers. So they jack up the tuition prices after we graduate.
Oh.
So we take advantage of not having to pay for the long showers. Take long showers before we go out into the real world and have to pay for it
Wow,
ourselves.
top 10
You know what I'm saying?
college strategies.
Well, wait. Maybe I should do that now.
Oh yeah, because you're not going to live here.
I'm not going to live here.
No, don't do it, Joey.
So I could just like, I'm taking 45-minute showers.
No.
And then you guys are going to have to pay for it. I like this idea.
Well, I'll just come shower at you guys' place.
That would be weird.
Shoot. Yeah, I guess I can't argue with that.
I'll just go jump in the pool, the outdoor pool.
That's true. You could do that.
Yeah.
I haven't even been out there yet. I should use it sometime.
Well, should we get into our talk about technology, or not technology, about social media?
We probably should.
Yeah, we probably should.
Probably.
So, Joey, you wanna start us off since you did some special research?
Oh, you want an intro with the research?
Research.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah, hit us with some cold hard facts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cold hard facts about social media. So, first of all, my source is the Mayo Clinic. So, top tier here in Minnesota. Iowa doesn't have the Mayo Clinic. Boom. Roasted.
Got him.
Minnesota does. So, some things that it said about social media, and this is particular in teens because we're teens.
We are.
Wait, I'm 20, aren't I?
I'm still a teenager. Technically.
You're a teen baby.
I still am too.
And Josh.
It's large adult Joey talking to his teenager
Child.
friends.
Yeah. Okay. So, few things that social media does. First, they list off a few things. It's distracting, obviously. 'Cause
Really,
it takes
Joey?
up a lot of time. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Did Mayo
No,
really say that? Because I mean, if Mayo said it, it's probably true. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Other than that, I don't know if it would be true.
Mayo is the best condiment. Wait.
Well, that
Wrong Mayo.
Okay.
Oh, are we not talking about that?
No, we're not talking
Oh,
about that's
okay.
next podcast.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's distracting. It disrupts sleep. I don't know if that's saying like I don't feel like social media actually disrupts your
No, it can. With, like, the
sleep
blue light.
schedule. Okay.
Well, sleep schedule, and I feel like blue light makes it harder for people to fall asleep.
That's true. That's true. Exposing them to bullying. That's facts. Fun fact. I was listening to this guy. His name is Ben Shapiro. He is like a political figure and he gets a lot of hate. But on one episode, he said, I hardly get anyone saying anything to me like in person that's mean, which is mind blowing to me because like so many people disagree with him and really strongly don't like him, but still they don't have the guts to say that to him in person. So it's kind of sad because social media, you're able to say stuff that you wouldn't say in person, which is super sad, super bad.
Yeah.
Rumor spreading. Yeah, that happens. That doesn't really happen in our high school, but I'm sure in public
definitely.
school, it's a disaster.
It did,
It did.
just not.
Oh,
With,
it did?
like we didn't know about
I'm
it.
sure it did.
Man, people don't tell me anything. That's probably good.
People don't tell me anything either. I just kind of suspect.
Oh, okay.
That
Okay.
it did.
Then maybe it did. Unrealistic views of other people's lives. Yes. Because hot take, it's actually not a hot take. It's not a hot take.
No, yeah. It's like
But social media is literally just marketing yourself.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it is. Here are my best moments of my life. And then you can just scroll through that. And then that's what you think about a certain person. You see like their life is perfect.
Literally in marketing classes that I'm taking right now for school, like they're teaching us how to market businesses on social media. So if you think that we're using like Instagram to market businesses, how is it different that you're not marketing yourselves?
Yeah, it's the exact same medium.
Yeah, exactly. So super sad because then people feel like their life is terrible because they see other people's perfect life. I'm air quoting right now. You can't see it because it's a podcast.
Yeah, you just got to be real.
Yeah, you just got to be real. We'll talk about that later. It also leads to peer pressure.
Smooth.
Yeah. Drop some hints about what we're going to talk about. That's nice. And then I have a few quotes about mental health because I'm a big fan of taking care of your mental health. So, a 2019 study of more than 6,500 12 to 15-year-olds in the U.S. found that those who spend more than 3 hours a day using social media might be at heightened risk for mental health problems, which is not good. Another 2019 study of more than 12,000. Wow, I can't believe they found 12,000 people to do a study on. 13 to 16-year-olds in England found that using social media more than 3 times a day predicted poor mental health and well-being in teens.
Do you think the English study translates over to like U.S. kids too, though?
Probably.
Nice.
I would guess so. I mean, it's a different country, but I think it's probably similar behaviors. So
Shoot, Mike.
I would tend to agree, Mike.
That-
Not a bad accent, I might say.
No, I think that's pretty
Not
good.
the best, but
I'm not going to do mine because mine would probably be offensive about how bad it would be. We've learned from the plays that Joey cannot do an English accent.
well, you can. It just kind of goes inconsistent. It's just, yeah.
That's true.
very off track. My point was that, yes, that definitely translates to
Yes.
U.S. kids
It's
as well.
the same. Yeah. Quote, other studies also have observed links between high levels of social media use and depression or anxiety symptoms. A 2016 study of more than 450 teams found that greater social media use, nighttime social media use, and emotional investment in social media. See, that's the problem. Emotional investment in social media, such as feeling upset when prevented from logging on. Oh my word, which each linked with worse sleep quality and higher levels of anxiety and depression.
Oof.
Josh, that was such a sympathetic oof.
Oof. Oof. Such as feeling upset when prevented from logging on.
See, that's when you know you got an identity problem. That's when you know it's an addiction.
Yeah. Because, like, jeez. It's like, even like when you can't log on, you just feel like you have to get that dopamine from your social media, and there's nowhere else you can get it. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely related to that. Like, I'm sure we've all had those feelings, but it's just crazy to like actually put that in perspective like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I also got a quote about college kids. So, relevant.
Finally, something relevant.
Yeah. An older study on the impact of social media on undergraduate college students showed that the longer they used Facebook, the stronger was their belief that others were happier than they were. There's the marketing right there. But the more time the students spent going out with friends, the less they felt this way.
Wow.
Huh. So when you
Whoa, who would have guessed? When you do fun stuff and don't look at other people doing fun stuff, you have more fun.
So after doing this research a little bit, I remembered a book that I read. And I actually... Oh, okay.
Okay, I'd just like to pause. On our show notes, Joey has written for this next section heading, The Cuddling of
Is that
the
the book title,
American
Joe, you're about to talk
Mind.
about? Or like, what,
That is the
what?
book title. The Coddling.
It's the
Oh,
coddling
I was
of the American
really
mind,
confused.
not cuddling.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's the name of the book.
I'm just going to switch that U to an O real fast.
No, you should leave it.
Okay, The Coddling of the American Mind. But in there, the authors give 5 things that lead to less depression. And I love this list, so I wrote it down because I like to do this stuff. Number 1, sports. Woo!
Yeah.
Love sports.
Love sports.
So,
IMs. This is why we do them.
yeah, so we get less depression. Another good one, attending a religious service.
We do that.
Mike, do you do that
I do that
every week?
every week, except not this morning.
Oh,
It's
sinner.
very ironic
Sinner.
that you're asking me that today. 'Cause
Yeah.
Otherwise, I always go to church.
Josh, you're at college in a different state. Do you go to church?
I do still go to church. Yeah.
Good work. Way
a
to
good
keep
Christian man.
the depression down. Which is funny because yesterday I was at my grandpa and grandma's because I was hunting, and they had a magazine called Christianity Today. And on the front cover, there was an article about how because there's certain side effects to Americans not attending church, and a lot of mental health stuff is worse because people are not attending church, because attending a religious service helps with depression.
Also, we would like to make clear that the point of going to a religious service is not to stem depression. Like, there are better reasons to go to
Yes.
church, but
Oh,
it is
absolutely.
a good side effect.
Absolutely. Yes, that is not the point I was trying to make.
I know, Joey, I was just trying to make sure no one took that from what you were saying.
Yeah, that's true. That could prevent me from getting a job in the future. So thank you, Josh, for
Thanks for the
saving.
accountability.
I got
Yeah.
you.
Thank you for saving my future career. Next one, reading books.
I don't do that.
Guilty.
I feel like I don't do that much during the school year because I'm reading school books a lot.
I think, ironically, the last full book that I read that wasn't for school was the one we talked about with Mr. Teen last
really?
week, the Digital Minimalism.
Yeah, that's a good one. Next one, in-person interactions. Big fan of
Oh, yeah.
in-person interactions. Wow. Sometimes you just can't talk.
Another thing you could say is intrapersonal interactions.
There you
Ooh,
go.
that's too...
Man.
You expect him to say that word after
No,
listening to the last
I was just
Say-
making a harder alternative for Joey.
Yep. Yep. Oh, this is one we do a lot. Doing homework.
I was going to say,
Josh?
I got that one covered.
Yeah.
The in-person interaction I'm not that good at, but
because of
doing
the homework,
homework.
probably.
Yeah.
well, partly just because of me, but
I'm just going to run over those one real quick. It's sports, attending a religious service, reading books, in-person interactions, and doing homework all lead to less depression. So do those things because they're good for your brain.
yeah, just do them. Easy.
Ta-da.
It's that easy.
But other than just like preaching at you with facts and what you should do, we thought we'd talk a little bit about our experiences with social media, what we've done, what we wouldn't recommend doing, what maybe we would recommend doing that we've done or that we haven't done. So, Joey, I think you have maybe you started off with your social media experiences because I think you have cool stories.
Okay, sounds good. I'll start. So I think I started with Instagram. I think that was my first social media that I had. And I actually really liked it. I didn't use it as much to hang out or like keep up with friends and stuff like that. I more used it to like, I'm a big fan of humor. So, and there is some absolute comedy stuff on Instagram. So I enjoyed that, but also like sports things, fishing stuff, hunting stuff. There's all sorts of good stuff. But then after a while, I think I talked about this with Mr. Teen a little bit. I realized that it was just taking way too much of my time. So what I did, and this is what I would recommend for other people to do, is you delete the app off of your phone and then you log into Instagram, for example, on Chrome or Safari, and then you use it for a while, and then you get so sick of it because in my experience, at least, I don't know if they fixed it, but Instagram on Chrome is absolutely terrible. It's slower, it's laggy. You get all these weird notifications.
No, they design it to be bad so that you want to get the app.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
That's intentional. I'm pretty sure.
That makes a lot of sense because you get like every time you log in, basically, you get it like a notification that's like, hey,
Yeah, like get the
download
app.
the app.
Question
Yeah,
mark?
exactly. So eventually, I got sick of that. So
And this is a very pivotal point. Once you get sick of it, you can either re-download the app or
not go back. You just X out of that tab on Chrome and you don't go back. And I definitely went through like a withdrawal for like a week after because it's just such a habit to just pull out your phone and go on Instagram. But I'm so glad I don't have that in my life anymore. I've had Snapchat, don't really use that much, so I don't feel like I have to do anything about that. But then I got Be Real. And I'm actually a big fan of Be Real because, as we know from the last podcast, Joey is a big fan of people being genuine. And I feel like Be Real is more of people being real than other social media platforms. I feel like Instagram, Facebook, those are the worst. Snapchat's different. You don't really need Snapchat. It's good for group text, though.
We don't use Snapchat like a lot of people do.
No, that's true.
And
that's what I was going to say. I feel like a lot of people use it poorly.
All three of us, I don't think have ever used Snapchat in the way that other people have. Like, we've never really been into like having like the streaks. Like, have you seen people's phones when they're going through their streaks? There's like so many like snaps they're having streaks with people with, and it's like, what?
Well, and it's so funny because like people can't break the streak, you know, they don't want to. And it's like,
That's how they get you.
that is literally just like all the streak is just different pixels, different lights on your phone. Like either it's 999 or it's 1,000. That's all it is. It's just different lights going. There's no value in that at all. Like you can like kind of flex on people, but that's so lame.
Yeah.
If you're flexing like I have a streak of 1,000, like everyone's gonna be like, you're a dork.
Yeah,
No
like
one cares.
one of our friends has like a streak of like 700 something. They've been going for over 2 years. And I'm like, and then one day you're probably going to lose it and you're going to be like, oh, kind of annoyed, but you're going to not care after like a day.
I think, Mike, I think it was you and Adele who convinced me during like quarantine to get Snapchat for the first time.
I think so, yeah.
So I didn't have any social media up until like COVID junior year. And then I got Snapchat, and that was basically just to make it easier to send videos to Mike and Dell during quarantine of like, I don't know, we spent a lot of like music stuff back and forth. So that was kind of how I got into it. And then senior year, I was like, okay, I got this for a specific purpose, and now that purpose is kind of gone. So I got rid of it during senior year. And then pretty quickly back into college, I realized it was like a thing a lot of people used for groups, especially just because it's convenient for that. So like basically where I'm at with Snapchat now is I'll use it for groups, and then like sometimes it's more convenient to get someone's Snap who you don't talk to like frequently, and so I communicate with like some people on it that I just don't have their phone number, but that's like basically how I use it exclusively. And I don't think like sending pictures back and forth of black screens to like keep a
Or your
streak going
forehead.
is very, yeah. I think, Joey, you mentioned something about this on the Mr. Teen one. Like, you can't, there's a certain extent to the number of like human relationships you can have. My feeling is that relationships like that just are so superficial and, I don't know, not satisfying in the end. So,
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you on that. It's like there's some people where it's almost just better to have just like no relationship with than like a Snapchat relationship. I don't know. I just hate the ones where it's like these were your friends from like middle school or high school or something, and you just have a streak with them, but you never like say anything. It's like what is the point of that?
Yeah, like when was the last time you said more than a sentence on your Snap streak, your daily Snap streak to them? Like, and you haven't talked to them or seen them in person for like a year or two or whatever. So
yeah, I just think that's weird.
it's wild.
Spend time with the people around you who you actually know. It's probably a better use of your time.
Yep. That's great advice when you go to college and stuff.
I was waiting for Joey to say his favorite quote as of recently that he's probably said 10 times in the last month.
What is it?
It's the Jesus and the 12 disciples.
I have said that.
I've literally heard you say that maybe like 10 times in the last month.
That's because it's a fact. It's a great
It is a fact.
It's a good biblical fact.
Okay, are you gonna say it? I don't know what this is.
He's said it on the podcast.
Yeah.
He said it last week.
I said the quote is something like Jesus spent 95% of his time with 12
Oh, yeah,
dudes.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was part of the bit I was just talking about. I just didn't remember you saying
Oh,
that.
okay. Okay. Mike,
Yeah,
what
it's
is
a good quote.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Mike, what has your experience been like with the social of the media?
I have, I think, had every one at some point. My first one that I got was Instagram. I got it around when I was 13, once I was allowed to have one legally, because it says you have to be 13 years old or older. And my mom and dad were like, you can't have it till you're 13. I'm like, okay. So I got it when I was 13. I pretty much like only followed like my dad and my cousin because they're like, I mean, I was homeschooled, so I didn't really know anyone.
Oh my goodness. Mike.
That had Instagram, and like everyone else my age didn't have it. Like I knew Josh, but he didn't have it, and other people didn't have it that I was friends with. So yeah, I kind of just I pretty much used it to share. I shared posts all the time, and I would post the randomest stuff. Like if you go back, I haven't deleted anything. Like I think it's hilarious the amount of stuff I used to post. So it says I have like, I don't know, I'll check how many posts I have right now, but it used to be the randomest stuff that I would post. And now I like...
Mike, kudos to you for not deleting stuff, because I feel like a lot of people get embarrassed about what they did when they were younger.
Oh, yeah.
But you're just like, no shame.
No, I don't care.
I love it.
I have 538 posts, and I used to post all the time, but in the last 3 years, I've posted like less than 10 times. And now I've tried to stop using Instagram again. So I'm not really posting on that ever. I'll look at it online every once in a while. I use Snapchat basically like we said. So I've had that for a long time, but I used to do streaks with like 6 people. I think I used to do streaks with Joey, but he didn't respond most of the time. So we didn't actually had a streak that lasted longer than 2 days, maybe.
You're welcome.
And then Facebook I never really go on it. I don't really go on Mom Book, as Joey calls it.
It is Mom Book. That's what it is.
And then I actually did make a Twitter account
No way.
when I was younger for my YouTube channel. Because I made like a
Oh.
social media for all my YouTube channels. Like this is when I was like 16 or 15 or whatever. I've not looked at that in maybe 3 years. So, yeah, that's my experience. Then I just got Be Real like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and that's been fun, honestly. I like the format, so that has been my social media experience. Josh.
I guess I talked about Snapchat sort of, and I said, yeah, I didn't have anything until junior year. And I think around the time I got Snapchat is when I made an Instagram account too. And I like thought about it a lot before because I wasn't sure I wanted to at all ever. And I kind of wish I just wouldn't have, because I think I would have been okay. I wouldn't have missed out on anything. But I basically made an account and decided I would only, like, I didn't want to follow a ton of people, and I wasn't going to post stuff like ever. So that's kind of the commitment I made. But then even if you don't post stuff and you're not like fighting over your self-image, it's still, as you know, easy to get sucked into looking at other people. So I eventually went the same route as Mike and Joey and deleted it off of my phone, and I only access it from my computer now. And I have it on Chrome, and I have an extension that I can limit times to certain like domains. So I have a 10-minute time limit set on Instagram, and if I go over 10 minutes, it will just like go to green screen and say your time is up. And if I try and like I'll sometimes find myself like I went over my 10 minutes, and later in the day I'll just type IN into the URL bar and it will just go to the green screen, and I'm like, okay, X out of the tab. But it's funny how like addicting it is, because I have like some days I've maybe gone to the Instagram page like 4 times after I've hit my time limit, and every time I see that green screen, it's like just kind of convicting, like, oh, they got me again, shoot. So that's what I'm trying to do, not like have that be the default thing I just type in my search bar. But I think it's definitely better to have it just available on a computer rather than on your phone, because it's a little, I would say, harder to access and not quite as convenient.
I've always found it funny, those timer things that like you reach your time limit, but I've never seen anyone like actually X out of it at that. Like it's always like extend time or whatever. So I find that funny.
No, I think there's a way I could override it, but I try really hard not to, and like I don't.
Good job, Josh.
I think if I get like the paid version of this extension, I can set up like more accountability things where it would be a lot harder to override it. But I have enough self-control that one block is enough to stop me. So
I'm proud.
Yeah, this just was the crazy thing to me is I would say like the three of us, I would say we like have pretty good self-control. I think we would have higher self-control than the average human being. But like if we still struggle it, I like can't imagine what like a 12-year-old girl is going through or something like that, where you're younger and it's just like you haven't like matured a lot and like you don't understand the consequences of it. Like
yeah, it's crazy.
Why would you get off? You're like, I love this. Why should I don't know the consequences. Mm-hmm. Let me just spend 4 or 5, 6 hours a day doing this.
Yeah, I would say like no one should. I'm not saying I did it perfectly, but I think waiting at least as long as I did to get social media is like a super good idea.
Yeah.
Like maybe even longer. Like I said, I wish I wouldn't have gotten Instagram at all, but like I would wait until like junior, senior year, maybe college. I feel like still in high school, you're so prone to comparison and it can be super dangerous. So, or just don't at all, ever.
That also works too. Well,
yeah, Kylie doesn't have any social media.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty
good. Besides Pinterest, but I don't really
Pinterest
count
doesn't really count.
I see it.
Though today she said she was she scrolled Pinterest for a while. She's like, I should probably delete it. And I was like, you've said that before and you deleted it and then gotten it again. So I have no hope. But at least she has nothing else. So
yeah, I think addicted to Pinterest is probably lower on the problems list.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not doing much like comparison on Pinterest. It's mostly like wedding boards. Like I want white flowers.
Okay, Joey, if Facebook is mom book, what is Pinterest?
It's like scrapbooking. I mean, I think that's the point of it.
Basically is.
It's basically scrapbooking, but I don't know what. I feel like it's just scrapbooking for high school girls. I think that's what I would. That's not as good as Mom Book.
Mom Book is iconic.
Yeah, I feel like we need to find like a catchy kind of like derogatory thing for every social media site.
Yeah, we'll come up with that.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
We'll update you guys when we have an answer.
Yeah. Okay, one thing I was thinking about though with social media, because Josh mentioned it or something. I think Josh did. But something like there's such a big lie with like social media that like if I delete this app, I'm going to like miss out on stuff. And I think that's just like so false. There's never once been any time in my life where people have been like talking about something and I was like, shoot, I missed out on that. All the stuff that I get like FOMO about, like I missed out on, has all been stuff that's like happened in person. Like this weekend, Ben was here and they stayed up till 3 a.m. watching movies and TV shows and I wasn't here. And I feel bad for like missing out. Now I still would have gone hunting because hunting is only 2 weekends a year. But Like that's something that happened in person that wasn't on social media.
Exactly. It was a good time though.
Let's just make Joey feel bad.
Thanks.
It was like the most fun weekend I've ever had in my
Joey,
life.
can't believe you weren't
Just
there.
kidding. Just trying to tease Joey a little bit.
Guys, I don't have Be Real yet. Can you make any like more cases to convince me?
Hold on.
Man,
I got to say one thing before I forget. I literally am friends with Maggie just so I can see photos of you, and you're never in her
same.
Be Real.
I know. Every time Maggie posts a Be Real, I'm like, oh, is Josh? Oh, Josh is not there.
Nope, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like study with her much anymore, so
Come on.
I'll try and I'll study with Maggie just so you can see me in her Be Reels.
Okay, thank you. That's what the people want. Well, not the people. That's just what me and Mike want.
Or you could get Be Real, and then we can guaranteed see you every single day.
Yeah. Josh, I'll tell you what my screen time on Be Real was for today. So you can feel better about yourself.
Okay.
So today I was probably on it more than I normally am. 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's probably about what mine is too.
Okay.
For context,
That's not
I
bad.
spent 15 minutes on Chrome. I spend more time in Chrome than on Be Real. So there you go.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Just download it right now. Let's do a podcast about social media and have Josh download the social media platform.
It seems so counter our message.
But Be Real is just different. man.
Be Real is built different.
That's the theme. All social media is bad except Be Real.
Except Be Real.
Except Be Real.
And Pinterest.
Mike, you mentioning Twitter made me remember that I literally have a Twitter account.
You
That
have I think I do
do
this
have
actually.
Twitter. I'm gonna see who I follow. I follow Micah Clark Films.
That's my
I follow
Twitter.
Alika.
Alec. Oh yeah.
Alika on November 1, 2017 said, "Hello with Twitter, hashtag my first tweet." And that is approximately all she has said.
That's very profound. Thank you, Alika.
Thanks, Alika, for the additional words of wisdom to the pod. Appreciate you.
It's just like her email she sent us with a blank body.
I
and
can't believe she never replied to that.
I know. I'm still wondering what that was.
Guys, do you think are we done talking about social media? Because then we could read one thing of fan mail.
I think we could. I think we could hear it because I heard the sound. I heard the sound.
Guys,
I heard the sound too.
I can't hear the sound.
Joey,
When the sound calls, we must respond.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should do one
It's-
thing of mail.
maybe it's because you can only hear out of one ear in your headphones.
That's true, guys.
maybe
I'm
why.
really struggling because Mike can hear himself and me and Josh in 2 ears. So can Josh. I can only hear all this glorious podcast in my right ear, and you have no idea how annoying it is.
You're missing out. Your left ear's crying right now.
What?
Okay, Josh, do you want to read our mail from our
Yes, I got you.
goat
All right.
from our goat fan?
Yeah, the subject line is goat fan, and you're probably thinking right now, this is one of two people. So submit your guesses. Okay, this email is from Braden Ritzma.
Let's go.
Who
You
would've
guessed
thunk?
correctly. Good job. Justin didn't email this week. I'm a tad disappointed.
Not
but
a number one fan.
No, Braden is currently pulling ahead in the polls, but Braden Ritzma says, the sports/intramural podcast, I listened 1 minute after it came out. Get owned, Justin. You were in class. So he is really trying to get ahead of Justin here.
This definitely helps his case.
Yeah, like 1 minute after, that is some commitment. He says, I also listen at 1x speed to catch every detail. And then in parentheses, like a true fan. Braden, you are a true fan. That is kind of legendary.
Well, we said true fan was you listen to
yeah,
at double
I know.
speed. So,
But he does bring up a good point.
He does
You
bring
don't-
up a good point.
Did we say that's what makes a true fan, or did we just say that's what we would do if we were like,
Yeah, because we respect our listeners' time, and we know we have a goated podcast, but we know you have your life is busy.
Goated podcast.
You got other stuff going on. You know, we respect that. So we think you should listen to our podcast at double speed.
Braden, I also respect you listening
Yes,
at
if you
1x
got
speed.
no life.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, I cannot say that to our number one fan.
Braden,
Yeah,
we
no, you can't.
apologize.
Show him,
No.
show him some respect.
If you yeah.
If you have the time.
if you have the time, listen to it at 1x speed.
If you don't have the time, listen at 2x speed.
Yes.
Okay, and this was right after the episode where we talked about intramurals, and we also did Currently Trending, where Joey talked about wedding planning. And Braden says, Joey, no one cares about wedding planning. You're literally Pam from The Office.
I would be laughing a lot more because that's hilarious, but I accidentally read the fan mail before, so I'm gonna not do that anymore.
Joey, you
I'm just
can't
not
spoil
gonna
it for
check
yourself like that.
No, because it's that, Bray, that's a 10 out of 10 joke right there. It's an Office joke. It's derogatory towards me. It's really
Just
solid.
You got to read the rest
Good
of the
in
email,
all
Josh.
respects. Yeah, he says, you are literally Pam from The Office. Don't lie to yourself that you're Jim. Mike has got some Andy vibes. What do we think about that?
I have mixed feelings about that because, I have mixed feelings about Andy. So
I don't see, I think it's a bit of a stretch, but it's still
Yeah.
really funny.
Okay. And then he says, Josh, I'm at a loss. Kinda Oscar, but not a great fit. Then parenthetical statement, didn't want to leave the guys out. So
thanks,
I appreciate
Braden.
you not leaving me out. Probably could have gone left out because apparently I don't match up with anyone in The Office very well. But
Yeah, Josh, no, you don't really fit anyone, but I don't think any of us really fit. The beauty of The Office is the characters are so distinct and it's really good. Best show ever.
We're all distinct in the eyes of God.
unique and peculiar. What are the odds we play the Throughline song as the outro to this podcast?
That is just what I was thinking.
I would say it's pretty good.
Me and Mike made a banger of a song, and we're gonna play a part of it as the outro to this podcast.
Yeah, this episode's gonna be short, so we gotta extend our time here with the
Wait,
way
should we play the whole song?
just play the whole thing? I mean, the people want to hear it.
Okay, if you want to hear it, you can listen to the whole thing at the end. If you don't, just don't. It's probably like 5 minutes, I'd guess.
If you want to or go to Avail, you're required to listen to the entire song.
That is true. It'll be way more funny for them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that, I think you all just want to hear the song. So we're going to cap off this episode. Thank you guys for listening to our takes on social media. Hopefully you made you think through some things. Hopefully it was helpful for you. And we will see you all in the next episode. Hope you all have a great day.
Catch you on the flippity flip.
Peace out, gangstas.
We are here, learning at Avail. We all have gifts, we'll do great things. TFT, teaching at Avail. Transformative, it's life-changing. We are earth keepers, image reflectors, servant workers, beauty creators. Oh yes, that is who we are. We are God worshippers, creation enjoyers, idolatry discerners, community builders. Oh yes, that is who we are. We are taught through lines at Avail, and they connect to everything. The through lines working at Avail. We are unique, peculiar. We are earth keepers, image reflectors, servant workers, beauty creators. Oh yes, that is who we are. We are God worshippers, creation enjoyers, idolatry discerners, community builders. Oh yes, that is who we are. 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 These are the through lines. These are the through lines. They never stop working. Never stop working. These are the through lines. These are the through lines. They never stop working. They never stop working. Even when we don't see they're connected, even when we don't feel they're connected, they never stop ever connecting. They never stop ever connecting. Even when we don't see they're connected, even when we don't feel they're connected, they never stop ever connecting. They never stop ever connecting. Earth keepers, image reflectors, justice seekers, beauty creators. Oh yes, that is who we are. We are God worshippers, creation enjoyers, order discoverers, community builders. Oh yes, that is who we are. 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 The through lines, they're pretty great, aren't they, ladies and gentlemen?